Hallo und herzlich willkommen aus Dresden. Mein Name ist Christian Sobeck und ich bin der Veranstalter des Dresden Amazon Seller Meetups, einer offenen Runde aktiver Amazon-Händler, welche sich monatlich in Dresden zum Austausch rund um den Verkauf auf Amazon trifft. Die folgende Sendung wird gesponsert von shopkeeper.com. Shopkeeper ist ein Business-Dashboard für Amazon-Verkäufer. Es zeigt dir auf einen Blick die wichtigsten Finanz- und Lagerdaten deines Amazon-Geschäfts. Shopkeeper bezieht diese Daten über diverse Reports direkt von Amazon, wertet anfallende Gebühren direkt aus und zeigt dir variantengenau Umsätze, Gebühren und Gewinne. Es nimmt auch Bestandsprognosen vor und weist dich darauf hin, sobald du deinen Lagerbestand bei Amazon wieder auffüllen solltest. Somit hilft dir Shopkeeper, wichtige Entscheidungen deines Amazon-Geschäfts zahlenbasiert zu treffen und kann damit zu einer positiven Entwicklung deiner Geschäftszahlen beitragen. Über den Link in der Beschreibung kannst du dir Shopkeeper für sage und schreibe 6 Monate kostenfrei sichern. Für unser Meetup hat Shopkeeper die Testphase von 14 Tagen auf 6 Monate verlängert, damit du auch ausgiebig testen kannst. Diese Promo gibt es nur über den Link in der Beschreibung. Bei unserem Meetup können wir dieses Mal die Jana Krekic begrüßen. Jana ist Gründerin von YLT Translations und seit über 9 Jahren im Bereich der professionellen Übersetzung tätig. Neben dem Erstellen von Marketingtexten und der Internationalisierung bildet Jana selbst auch andere Übersetzer aus und legt dabei den Fokus auf Conversion-Optimierung der jeweiligen Sprache. Wir wünschen dir nun viel Spaß beim Anhören der Aufzeichnung und freuen uns, dich bei einem unserer nächsten Meetups in Dresden live vor Ort begrüßen zu dürfen. Und nun geht's los.
Okay, so hi everyone. Mein Deutsch ist sehr schlecht, also ich will auf Englisch reden. Ich hoffe, das ist okay für alle. Yeah? So today I will be speaking about listing translations, and we will be sharing some of our secret tips about how to do some certain things in listings a lot of people are not familiar about. So my name is Jana Krekic, and as Christian said, I'm the founder of YLT Translations. I've been working within the industry for about 9 years now, and 3 years ago I founded the company. Since then, the number of our team members have risen to number 29. We've done over 7,000 listings. We've worked from 7 to even 9-figure sellers throughout the years. And we've had a lot of experience. So today I will be speaking about listing translations and what is the best way how to do them according from my opinion and through my experience, basically how it's done. Basically, all listings we have today are door that goes through the world. And everything we have to say, we can say in our listings, as Björn was previously stating, and that was a pretty good intro to what I'm going to talk about today. Before I start, I always like to get to know the audience I'm talking to, because it really depends what you should focus on and if you have random sellers here. So I would like to know if there's someone who is not starting selling on Amazon yet. Can you just raise your hand? Okay. Do we have any sellers? Do we have any sellers who are already selling on international markets? Okay, perfect. Maybe some who's been on all 5 markets? Okay, so today is going to be something for everyone. So the beginners are going to hear some key advice on how to get your listing started on international markets, and more advanced speakers will probably be more interested in the sauce tips and how some keyword research works from various tools we use. So basically, we have a very diverse crowd here today, which is really good. And we basically all have in common this Amazon buzz, which you're basically all part of. So what does Amazon make so great as it is today? Basically, you can reach everyone with just one listing. You don't need to build a website, hassle with developers, pay Google AdWords or anything else. Amazon has basically done all of that for you. But some good news are that you can reach everyone with just one listing, but your entire competition, so basically everybody else, can do the same thing. So what can you do to make your listing really stand out? And that is something a lot of sellers oversee, and that is making a really good international high-quality listings. A lot of us are English speakers, and we think that probably everybody can deal with English. But in the online world, online purchases and similar online shopping This can cause you a lot of money, this way of thinking, because not everyone speaks English and not everyone understands how good a product is. It's all about descriptions and what are the features of the product. If you don't understand the product, you're not going to buy it. I would never buy something if I'm not sure if it's okay to use for what I want to use, or I don't know what material is it made of. I would not do that, definitely. And I'd like to explain this example better using the French mom test. So the French mom test is this typical French mom, and she's sitting and Googling on her computer, and she wants to buy something which is safe for her baby. So at this point, she is looking for a diaper backpack bag. So in Amazon.fr, we can see 4 products. 1 product is in English, 3 products are in French. She will probably go into this product because it's the cheapest, but will she understand what is she reading? So will she know if this is safe for her baby? And you're probably wondering, how is a diaper backpack safe for a baby? Like, what's not to be safe? Well, we recently had this product for translation, and we found out that you can actually open that and kind of make it into a mobile home for your baby. So you can actually see if it's safe or not. But she's not going to understand this. She is not going to buy this product because she would not know if this product is safe for her. So she wants something that she will understand, and that is very crucial for this product. So Harvard Business Review, and I just came to this information pretty lately. This Harvard Business Review says that 56.2 people interviewed online, they report that the language is better than the price, which means that if you leave the listing in English, because I usually, when I speak to this conferences and meetups, I address people that are in the UK, but also, of course, you're not going to leave the listing in German language and just launch it in French market. But let's say if we say that we have an English listing, you're going to target basically 50% of the market. So every other seller, and you're going to lose so much profit. So think of it as a 50% profit loss if you just state like this way. So back to the diaper bag, and according to the Harvard Business Review, this totally just follows the story, because this is the cheapest product. It's not having, it has maybe only 4 reviews, and it's not something which is what people will buy because it's a foreign language. When something is a foreign language, people are unlikely going to buy it, and this is the mindset people should have. When talking about markets, what markets should you focus on? So it's a common misconception that the UK market is the biggest market. So you probably here know that the German market is the biggest market, because I usually ask, do you know what's the biggest market? But yes, the German market is number 1. We have UK, and then France, Spain, and Italy being smaller markets. And we have the Netherlands, which is basically just developing, and I've never ever had an inquiry from a seller saying, would you like to help me to launch something on the Dutch market? So this is, the 6th one is for now irrelevant. So what is the mindset for getting the product launched in international markets? You have to try to launch the product, because you never know if you're going to get jump in sales or not, if you're going to be successful or you're not. And this is really important, because this is how you can get an advantage to your other competitors. And how successful one product can be, I like to show an interesting person and tell a story about how this overseas person got really successful in Germany, for instance. And his name is David Hasselhoff. So the Hoff, or David Hasselhoff, I'm pretty sure everybody knows who this guy is, especially in Germany. So he was a lifeguard series, Bitch Buchanan, running in slow-mo down the beach with his curly hair. So basically everybody knows about his acting career, but not all of the people know about his singing career. His singing career was considered as a joke in the States and in the UK, but here in Germany, he was basically a superstar in the 80s. He was basically invited to one of the biggest historical events in Europe. He was singing at the demolishing of the Berlin Wall in 1989. He was singing Looking for Freedom, which basically became one of the national anthems of that era. So nobody knew why he was so popular. maybe because of his leather outfits, because of the leather hosen, like nobody knows. So he didn't even know he's going to be popular, neither did other people. So, okay, so you're probably saying, okay, this is an interesting story about Hesshoff, but what does it have to do with my Amazon listings? Well, it has to do a lot about your mindset for the other markets, because you never know if your product is going to get the jump in sales or not. You just have to go out there and try. You just have to target big enough market, let's say UK, or you can even try in France. You don't want to end up like Dolce & Gabbana on the other side. So Dolce & Gabbana did a miserable market research, and they tried to launch the campaign. And the campaign, as you can see, it's an Asian lady eating pizza with chopsticks. And this was a very bad idea. I mean, I get it. They wanted to combine two cultures, merging through fashion as a unique language for everyone. But this failed miserably, because Asian people are very sensitive about their culture, and this was a very bad idea. They lost so much money, and whole Dolce & Gabbana merchandise was taken down from the Chinese e-commerce websites, and it was a horrible loss. So don't be Dolce & Gabbana, be David Hasselhoff, and go and launch your products on other markets. What is the right way to do your listings? There is no one right way. There are a lot of right ways how to do it. But I'm going to talk about our experience with sellers who've gained sales and whom we've done a really good job with. So meet Josh. Josh is your neighbor's kid. He's been spending 4 last years in Paris. He studied French. If you ask your French friends, like, how good is Josh? How good is his French? They say, like, wow, he doesn't have an accent when he talks. So to ask Josh, like, okay, Josh, how much do you charge? I cannot afford professional services. And Josh says half the price. So my question is, should you hire this person on the picture? Should you hire Josh? You should definitely not hire Josh. I would not even hire Josh, because, you know, what does Josh know about Amazon listings? He's not a good fit for Amazon. He might be able to translate the source language to the target language text, but he doesn't know anything about the keyword research, how to insert keywords, and how actually keywords make sales. They are the essential of the listings. And most importantly, he would fail the French mom test, because Josh would probably not even use the keyword the French mom will be using to find her diaper bag in that. And that is why you need to have not only native translators, of course, they should be native and have experience with translations, but also they should be marketers. So they should know why we are translating listings and what are we doing the keyword researches here. How important is an actual keyword research? As I said, a lot. We like to use 3 different tools, but our favorite is Helium 10. But you need to pay for Helium 10. So if you don't want to pay for the tool, you can use Sonar. It's also good for all European markets. And you can use AMZ Suggestion Expander. So all 3 of them are pretty useful. And for 2 of them, you don't have to pay anything. And here are the differences. So this is Helium 10. It gets you a lot of long tail keywords, which I'll explain later. And it has search volume and some other aspects, so you can get a lot of information, especially important if you want to use this for your PPC campaigns. This is Sonar. It gets you also search volume, which is important because you're going to know if it's a high traffic or not the high traffic keyword, but nothing else than that. And AMZ Search Suggestion Expander. Let's say we're selling bonsai tree kit. If you read bonsai here, you're going to get keyword combinations before and after, and it's an add-on for Chrome. It's really 3 seconds of installation. And you can combine the keywords you see here. There are no information about search volume or anything else, but it's a really good tool. And sometimes we like to use this manually because the keyword databases are not good enough. So you kind of want to enhance them by using the expander here as well. How to perform a good keyword research. So this is basically essential of how we do it. So first of all, if we're selling the bonsai tree kit, we would do the magnet keyword research. This is the result from Helium. So magnet keyword research for the main keyword of your product. So you will get some long tail keywords, some single keywords. After that, this is from Sonar. You can do the same thing. After that, you can also go and search for your competitors using Jungle Scout, for instance, and then top 2 seller competitors, you can do the reverse ASIN in the Cerebro in the Helium-10. Fortunately, only Helium has this option. The other 2 tools don't have that. So you go to reverse ASIN and you'll get the top keywords from their 2 most sold listings. And of course, after that, you can add the AMZ suggestion expander if you're missing some of the basic keywords. You should put them all in one big Excel file, and you can just duplicate keywords should be removed. And this is how you get basically 150 top keywords. And you should not basically use anything that has search volume below 120, because you don't need any keywords that nobody is looking for. Just one thing when doing the keyword research for the French language. So French language, as you may know, has a lot of those accents over words. So the word crème, for instance, can be written with an accent over E or without. And these 2 are completely different keywords. So if the keyword is without this E over the accent, you don't want to use the E with the accent because it's not going to be absolutely the same keyword. There are a lot of grammar mistakes when using this without the accent. So the best thing for this keywords which are not absolutely correct are for them to go in backends. Or you can write them in capital letters, because in French with capital letters you can use words without accents. And that is what some people have no idea about. Okay, single or long tail keywords. This is really important. So for instance, I'm taking the example of the bonsai tree kit because this is also what we've done recently. So let's say that you use the word kit, and this is something you're going to find on Helium or Sonar or somewhere else. So using the word kit, this is a single keyword. Single keyword means that it consists only of one word, which is not the case in German because it's a lot of compound words which are one word. So you need like something which is simple and which is basically one word. If you use this word in your listing, in Helium-10 you also get top products from the single keyword, which are basically some Nintendo game kits, sewing kit, and something which does not have to do with bonsai kit. So the single keyword is too broad. You don't want to use these single keywords in your listing. You want to use something which is like bonsai tree kit, where you will get the correct product, or bonsai tree or bonsai kit. So you want to use long tail keywords so you can actually lead customers directly to your product. You don't want to use kit because you'll get, for instance, something like this. So what happens with Amazon AI algorithm is that it recognizes that you want to be relevant for this search term. And if you don't get your clicks on your product, your click-through rate will go down. And Amazon will take you off from the page 1. And then after that, it will lead to other things, such as you'll have to have higher cost per click, and your ACOS will go higher. So it will lead to some other things, which you don't want to happen. So you want to choose long tail keywords, and you want to get positioned for them, because those are the specifics that customers are looking for, not these, because you'll be losing a lot of time, a lot of money, and people in the beginning also focus on that for PPC campaigns. It's also very important for that. When coming for PPC campaigns, if you do something like that there, so your product, your sponsored ad, let's say that these are 2 sponsor ads, they'll have a lot of impressions, but they would not have a lot of clicks because they would not be relevant for that. But your competitors who might be, for instance, using long tail keywords can take your place, and they can get less impressions but more clicks, and they will have better position, and an algorithm will favorize them and not you. So definitely choose long tail keywords. Google Translate. This is something I often get a question about. Do we use Google Translate? Can people use Google Translate? And honestly, Google Translate has come a long way from just, randomly translating something like Turkey, made in Turkey and stuff like that, to actually making sense. So Google Translate now makes a lot of sense, but unfortunately it doesn't make enough sense for Amazon in a lot of examples. So this first example of the sweetened milk can shows how Google Translate translates this to this la leche azucarada. My Spanish is horrible. And if you type this here, you're not going to get the right product. But if you type the leche condensada, you're gonna get the right product. So that's why you need a real person who knows the language to do the keyword research, and not just your Filipino assistant or whoever other is hiring, because they don't speak any other language. I don't want to sound, the wrong way, but usually people who don't speak language and who perform keyword research can do a lot of mistakes like this because they would use Google Translate. So I would never recommend doing that. Second example is the kitchen faucet. So faucet translated to Italian is indeed rubinetto. So Google Translate did not make any mistakes here. This is absolutely fine translation. But if you use rubinetto in the Italian market, you're not gonna get the sink. You're gonna get a vacuum cleaner and the chocolate fountain. So this is going to be page 3 in results. So the actual word you're looking is lavello. So this is actual word, which has nothing to do with Google Translate. So you would, again, need somebody who knows the language and to see if it's going to fit or not. So other examples of the Google Translate. Okay. So we basically covered what are the listings and the languages and speakers and how it should basically be done. So this is the first tip for today. And that is how do we place keywords in our listing and where can we also find them. So Björn was talking something about this, and there's going to be a good story on his story, what he said. So this is something you don't want to do. This is keyword stuffing. This is French translation, consists solely by keywords. This is amazing how Amazon did not take it off. I just found this by accident. I was just mesmerized by this, so I decided to put it on a slide. Okay, so here we have this bonsai tree. And for instance, we have the title. In the title, you should basically keep from 3 to 4 keywords, and the title should be something which is basically very important. So 2 or 3 keywords depending on the product. Also, first 2 bullets are very important. You want to keep the high traffic keywords in the first 2 bullets. Everything depends on the product, but sometimes you can put 1 or 2, but it needs to be high traffic, so from the top of your Helium 10 or your Sonar page. Next thing where you should place your keywords, if you're not EBC, so A+ seller, the description, which a lot of people forget about on the mobile app, the description comes first. After the title, the description comes first, and you want to place also high traffic keywords in the first 2 sentences of your product description. Also bear in mind that Amazon AI algorithm usually indexes first 2,000 characters. So if your bullets are too long, 499 characters is the limit for a bullet. Just keep them shorter, so your product description also gets to be indexed. When using EBC, it's always a good idea to keep the product description hidden, because a lot of people are testing and we're not sure if EBC is always getting indexed or not, but product description is for sure. Keywords are also something which you can find in the reviews. And here is a Helium 10, of course, but we use Review Downloader. So if you download the review, you can extract keywords from there. And that's a really interesting thing, because in those reviews, you can find out if your product is a problem solver, and you could probably find some other keywords which you may not have been using in the listing, which are high traffic keywords. You can put them in the listing, and maybe you can position yourself even better. Backend keywords. So we all know how backend keywords are important, and subject matter as well. A lot of people make mistakes by using backend keywords too many times the same keyword. So don't duplicate backends in keywords in backends. Also, people make spelling errors, single and plural forms of same words. Don't do that, because you are using a lot of bytes. From 295 bytes, which are allowed. I'm sure you can use this for some better purposes. So basically, these keywords are just going to, they're just recognized as one and same keyword from the A9 algorithm. What is a really good tool is AMD Data Studio we like to use, and that is you can find out what backends your competitors have. And By doing that, I found out some really horrible backends, such as this one, which is too long. It has a lot of really unimportant data. Or for instance, this one on the left, which has only 6 keywords, or this one on the right, which has double, like bond, like 1,000 times. So these are examples of which backends are not good. We like to use this tool. This is our tool from our friend Timo Bock. I'm sure you've heard of him. And this is the backend keyword tool byte counter. It's on his website. So you can insert the backend keywords, and you can just see, if you click on the remove the keywords, you will see up what are the double keywords, and just get a line of single keywords. We went even further with this tool. So what we like to do to make sure that we haven't used keywords double in the title and the listing, we paste the title and the bullets, and then we click on remove duplicates, and then we put backends, and then we click again remove duplicates, so you're sure that you don't have anything double. And this is how you save a lot of your time, because from my own experience, if you do it manually, I'm sure you're going to forget some keyword, but you are going to use those valuable byte spaces for something else which is going to be already mentioned in your listing. Also, a good idea for backends is using related terms. For instance, if you're selling a beach umbrella, you want to put in your backend beach towel or sunglasses. Every time the buyer looks for beach towel, your sun umbrella is going to show up, and maybe they're going to buy it because that's good old power of suggestion, and that can result in your product being in the frequently bought together section with this beach towel. So it's a good way to maybe even enhance the appearance of your product on Amazon. And this is something about A/B testing. So after you have made changes to some of your listings, improved them, or just made some changes overall, how to know that they are working or if they're not working. Title is very good for A/B testing because besides images, title is one of the most important things, and it's the first thing you see when actually looking for a product. There's a really good quote. It says, if you cannot measure it, you cannot manage it. So whatever results you get, either good or bad, you will know which way you're heading, even like good or bad way. Every result is a good result. So a lot of people use business reports for this. So this is, I'm going to show you how to do it from the fulfillment report, and you don't need any other external tool which you're gonna pay. So this is done from the fulfillment report, and this is the most accurate way how to track the changes day by day for the sales of your product. So we go to the fulfillment report, and then we go to all orders. When you go to all orders, you're gonna have this purchase date. Then you're gonna download the text file. This text file you're going to open in an Excel sheet. You're gonna have this column, purchase date, purchase and time date. It's gonna be D. What you need to do is to put the C column empty. So you're gonna click on the right click and put insert to get an empty column. After that, you're going to mark the purchase date and click to text 2 columns. This is what you're gonna get, delimited. What does this mean? It means that the purchase time and date are put into one column. So you actually want to put something of that in that empty column you put where the C letter is. You should put the letter T in other, so you delimited it with T for time. And this is what you will get, an empty column where you should put time. After you're done with this, you click on the whole Excel sheet and you click on the pivot table. I know pivot tables sound horrible to everyone here probably, but if I could manage this, everybody can manage this because it's very, very simple from this point on. After the pivot table, you'll get this window, and then you'll get a really big Excel sheet. On the left, you can see that you'll get some fields on the right in the Excel sheet where you should filter the purchase date, ASIN, and the product date. And in filters, you should put sales channels in case that you are selling on Shopify or have some other sales channels. After you have ticked all of these filters, you're gonna get something that looks like this. So you're gonna click on where the title says, and you're gonna see per days how many of them have been selling day by day. And you're gonna know what changes were made which day, and you're gonna track and see what has been improving or not in your listing or in your title. Okay, so that's it. If you have any questions or anything at all, I'll be happy to share some slides, or we have our process. Is basically what I was talking about is also on our webpage, and we are offering also to all the Dresden meetups 20% by the end of April for our services, and I am more than happy to answer any questions if you have any, and that's it. Thank you.
Ich hoffe, diese Episode war für dich hilfreich und konnte dich in deinem Business ein wenig weiterbringen. Was dich aus meiner Sicht in deinem Business auf jeden Fall weiterbringen kann, ist MyTalent. MyTalent ist eine georgische Recruiting-Agentur für deutschsprachige virtuelle Assistenten. Virtuelle Assistenten sind ortsunabhängige Mitarbeiter für wiederholbare Tätigkeiten wie beispielsweise Support oder Recherche oder auch das Kontaktieren von Influencern. Das sind alles Tätigkeiten, die sind arbeitsintensiv und die solltest du als Unternehmer nicht unbedingt selber machen, und dafür eignen sich generell virtuelle Assistenten. Im besten Fall sprechen die virtuellen Assistenten natürlich Deutsch, und im besten Fall zahlt man, weil sie eben ortsunabhängig sind, eben keine deutschen Gehälter, sondern lokale Gehälter. Und dazu haben wir in Georgien vor Ort eine Recruiting-Agentur gegründet, und wir rekrutieren dort lokale deutschsprachige Mitarbeiter. Die lokalen Gehälter, die gehen so ab 2,50 € pro Stunde los, kann natürlich auch drüber liegen, je nach Qualifikation, aber auf jeden Fall profitierst du davon, dass die Lebenshaltungskosten in Georgien einfach sehr viel niedriger sind als in Deutschland, und entsprechend sind natürlich auch die Gehaltserwartungen sehr viel niedriger. Wenn das für dich interessant ist, und ich denke, Entlastung ist für jeden Unternehmer interessant, dann besuche uns auf mytalent.io und mach dort ein unverbindliches Gespräch aus, und wenn du in dem Formular den Gutscheincode Podcast eingibst, dann bekommst du 50 € Rabatt auf unsere erste Rechnung.